Bob was once a lone wanderer, left to fend for himself in the harsh caveman world after his tribe was attacked and destroyed by a rival group. He had spent years honing his survival skills, mastering the art of hunting and combat. Now, his ultimate goal was to find a tribe to belong to and become one of their strongest warriors. Bob was determined to prove his worth and find his place in this ancient world. The story begins. Bob woke up to the sounds of the forest, his senses alert as he looked around. The sun had just started to rise, casting a warm glow over the lush greenery. He stretched his muscular limbs, feeling the anticipation building up within him. Today was the day he would take his first step towards finding a tribe to join. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he came across a small clearing. Bob's eyes widened with excitement as he spotted a group of people gathered around a fire. They wore animal skins and carried spears, signs that they belonged to a tribe. This was his chance to prove himself. Bob approached the group cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. He hoped to catch their attention and impress them with his skills. But just as he was about to step forward, a loud rustling noise came from behind him. Startled, Bob turned around to see a saber-toothed tiger emerging from the underbrush. The beast bared its razor-sharp fangs and growled, clearly hungry and ready to attack. Bob's heart raced as he realized he was now in a battle for survival. What would you like to do next? Bob decides to draw his spear and confront the tiger head-on.
Bob drew his spear from its sheath and took a deep breath, readying himself for the impending confrontation. His muscles tensed as he locked eyes with the saber-toothed tiger, both predator and prey sizing each other up. With a burst of adrenaline, Bob charged towards the beast, his spear poised for a deadly strike. What would you like to do next?
Bob decides to. Bob sidesteps the tiger's attack and tries to stab it in the flank. Bob sidesteps the tiger's attack and tries to stab it in the flank. With a swift movement, he dodges the tiger's claws and thrusts his spear towards the beast's side. The sharp tip pierces through the tiger's fur and flesh, causing it to roar in pain and fury. What would you like to do next? Bob decides to. Searches for rocks or other projectiles to throw at the tiger.
Bob quickly scans his surroundings, searching for rocks or other projectiles to throw at the tiger. His eyes land on a pile of small stones nearby. With a swift motion, he grabs a handful and hurls them towards the beast, aiming for its head and eyes. The stones strike the tiger, causing it to momentarily lose focus. It snarls in pain and confusion, giving Bob a brief window of opportunity. What would you like to do next?
Bob charges towards the tiger, hoping to deliver a powerful blow with his spear.
Bob charges towards the tiger, hoping to deliver a powerful blow with his spear. As he lunges forward, his spear held firmly in his hands, the tiger reacts with lightning speed. It leaps to the side, narrowly avoiding the strike. Bob's spear grazes the tiger's flank, leaving a shallow wound. The tiger roars in fury and pain, its eyes fixed on Bob. What would you like to do next?
Bob decides to dodge to the side and try to outmaneuver the tiger.
Bob quickly dodges to the side, narrowly avoiding the tiger's pounce. As he outmaneuvers the predator, he takes a moment to assess the situation. The tiger, momentarily disoriented by its missed attack, turns to face Bob again, its muscles tense and ready to strike. What would you like to do next?
Bob decides to use his spear to strike at the tiger's vulnerable underbelly.
Bob lunges forward, thrusting his spear towards the tiger's vulnerable underbelly. The sharp tip pierces through the thick fur, penetrating the flesh. The tiger roars in pain and fury, swiping its massive paw at Bob in a desperate attempt to fend him off. Bob manages to jump back just in time, narrowly avoiding the powerful strike. The wounded tiger stumbles backward, growling fiercely. What would you like to do next?
Bob decides to sprint towards a nearby cave for safety.
Thank you for playing. The final stand. Bob's body trembled with exhaustion as he stared at the wounded tiger before him. Blood dripped from his spear, evidence of the fierce battle they had just engaged in. Despite his victory over the predator, Bob knew that his injuries were too severe to be ignored any longer. With each breath, pain shot through his body, reminding him of the numerous battles he had fought to survive in this unforgiving caveman world. From the moment his tribe was destroyed, Bob had faced countless challenges, honing his hunting and combat skills to stay alive. He had traversed treacherous terrains, battled dangerous predators, and endured the harshest of environments. But now, as his strength waned and his vision blurred, Bob knew that his journey was coming to an end. He had hoped to find a tribe to join, to become one of the strongest warriors among them, but fate had dealt him a different hand. In his final moments, Bob's mind wandered back to the struggles he had faced. He remembered the bone-chilling nights spent huddled by a small fire, the taste of victory after a successful hunt, and the exhilaration of overcoming each obstacle that stood in his way. As the wounded tiger approached him once more, Bob mustered the last of his strength. With a grim determination, he rose to his feet, ready to face his final battle. But his body betrayed him, collapsing to the ground, unable to withstand the weight of his injuries any longer. The tiger closed in, its eyes filled with a mix of hunger and triumph. Bob closed his eyes, accepting his fate. He had fought bravely, his spirit unyielding, but in the end, the caveman world had proven too merciless. And so, Bob's story came to an end, his name fading into the annals of history. But his legacy would live on, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. His journey had been one of survival, of resilience, and of the relentless pursuit of a dream. Though he had not found a tribe to join or become the strongest warrior, Bob had left an indelible mark on the unforgiving caveman world. As the tiger's jaws closed around him, Bob's final thought was a whisper of gratitude for the adventure he had lived, for the strength he had found within himself, and for the stories yet to be told by those who would come after him. And so, with his last breath, Bob's story reached its bittersweet conclusion.